On October 1, 2025, the global trade map is being redrawn as nations scramble to adapt to a rapidly changing economic landscape. The world's shipping lanes, once predictable, are now in flux, and new opportunities are emerging for those bold enough to seize them. At the very heart of this transformation stands the Port of Churchill in Manitoba, Canada. A once overlooked outpost now thrust into the global spotlight. Once a remote seasonal outpost, Churchill is now the cornerstone of Canada's strategy to secure its economic future. The port's evolution from a frozen, isolated facility to a bustling hub of activity is nothing short of remarkable. This shift is a direct response to the decline of traditional trade routes, especially those through the United States, which faces historic downturns in shipping due to tariff wars, mounting political tensions, and persistent logistical challenges that have left American ports struggling. For decades, Canada's reliance on U.S. ports has been a critical vulnerability. When American supply chains falter, Canadian commerce suffers, leaving exporters and producers at the mercy of foreign bottlenecks and policy shifts. Recognizing this, Canada is investing heavily in Churchill, determined to gain control over its own trade arteries and insulate its economy from external shocks. The port's expansion is a bold move to reclaim economic sovereignty and ensure long-term stability. The move marks a profound shift away from the traditional east-west corridors toward a new north-south axis that connects Canada's vast interior directly to the Arctic and, from there, to global markets. This reorientation is reshaping the very flow of goods across the continent. Prime Minister Mark Carney's $500 billion plan to develop Churchill underscores the scale and ambition of this vision. The government's commitment signals a new era for Canadian trade, with Churchill as its northern gateway. Churchill's unique geography offers the shortest maritime link between North America's resource-rich interior and Europe, slashing transit times and costs for exporters. This strategic advantage is now being fully realized for the first time in history. As the Arctic becomes more navigable due to climate change, the Hudson Bay route is emerging as a practical, efficient alternative to congested southern passages. The once icy waters are now open for longer periods, making year-round shipping increasingly viable. By developing Churchill, Canada is building a resilient trade corridor for the next century, faster, cheaper, and under Canadian control. The port's rise signals a new chapter in global commerce, with Churchill poised to become a linchpin of international trade. At the heart of Churchill's remarkable transformation lies a powerful and forward-thinking partnership between the Arctic Gateway Group, known as AGG, and FedNav Limited. Together, these organizations are reshaping the future of Arctic shipping and regional development. Their landmark 2025 agreement is designed to establish a sustainable, reliable, and year-round shipping season, something that was once thought impossible in the challenging Arctic environment. AGG, which is proudly owned by Indigenous and community partners, brings deep local expertise, a strong sense of stewardship, and direct control of both the port and the historic Hudson Bay Railway. FedNav, recognized as Canada's largest international dry bulk shipper, contributes a modern ice-class fleet and decades of specialized Arctic navigation experience to the partnership. This partnership is about more than just business. It's a groundbreaking model for responsible, inclusive development, with Indigenous communities at the forefront as primary partners and key beneficiaries. A dedicated joint working group is actively addressing the technical, commercial, and environmental challenges of making year-round Arctic shipping a reality, ensuring that every step is carefully planned and sustainable. By combining AGG's local stewardship and vision with FedNav's global reach and operational expertise, Canada is unlocking the full potential of the Hudson Bay trade route for the first time in history. This alliance is about more than moving cargo. It's about building a sustainable future, empowering northern communities, and securing Canada's strategic advantage in the rapidly changing Arctic region. Churchill's revival is driven by the immense natural wealth of Western and Northern Canada, regions rich in resources that are now more accessible than ever before, seeking direct access to global markets, which is crucial for the economic growth of these areas. The port is positioned as a primary export hub for energy, agriculture, and critical minerals, making it a linchpin in Canada's trade network. Proposals for exporting Canadian natural gas to Europe would create a secure, Canadian-controlled energy corridor, enhancing energy security for both Canada and Europe. Prairie farmers benefit too. Shipping grain and canola from Churchill to Europe is faster and cheaper than southern routes, providing a significant boost to their profitability. The port's new focus on critical minerals like zinc, lithium, and cobalt is vital for the green energy transition, supporting the global shift towards sustainable energy solutions. In 2024, AGG and Hudbay Minerals doubled critical mineral exports, streamlining Canada's supply chain for these essential materials, which are crucial for modern technology. Churchill's diversified export strategy moves it beyond grain, making it a resilient, multi-purpose trade hub that can adapt to changing global demands. Potash, key for global fertilizers, is also part of the mix, ensuring that the port supports agricultural productivity worldwide. As Energy Minister Tim Hodgson notes, the potential for moving a wide variety of goods through Churchill is tremendous, highlighting the port's strategic importance for Canada's future. Churchill's strength depends on the Hudson Bay Railway, a 450-mile lifeline from the pass to Hudson Bay. After years of neglect and a devastating 2017 flood, the railway's revival became a national priority. Since AGG took ownership in 2018, over $300 million has been invested in a complete overhaul, making the line more robust than ever. Upgrades include new ties, ballast, bridge repairs, and advanced technology like drones and LiDAR for proactive maintenance. The result? The railway is in its best condition in decades, with travel times cut by 10 hours. This efficiency is vital for moving resources quickly and predictably, making Churchill a more attractive shipping option. The rebuilt railway is the steel backbone of Canada's Arctic ambition. Churchill's development is a response to the growing fragility of global trade routes. Recent years have exposed the vulnerability of supply chains. Pandemics, conflicts, and climate events have disrupted shipping worldwide. The Red Sea crisis and Panama Canal droughts highlight the need for secure alternative routes. Nearly 90% of major ports face climate hazards, making diversification essential. Churchill, distant from many high-risk zones, offers a stable, resilient alternative. As U.S. ports struggle, Canada's northern gateway becomes increasingly attractive. Investing in Churchill positions Canada as a key player in building more reliable global trade networks. The world needs new pathways, and Canada is stepping up. Churchill's revitalization promises economic transformation for northern communities and First Nations partners. The port's expansion creates sustainable jobs and new opportunities, fostering hope in remote regions. Benefits extend south. Farmers gain a competitive edge with lower shipping costs to Europe. The project spurs growth in construction, technology, and Arctic engineering, attracting talent and investment. By reducing dependence on foreign ports, Canada strengthens its trade sovereignty and economic stability. Churchill is more than infrastructure. It's a strategic tool for national growth. Its success will pay dividends for generations, cementing Canada's independence as a trading nation. The ultimate goal for Churchill is year-round shipping, a game-changer for Canadian logistics. Historically limited to a short summer season, the port's potential has been capped. The AGG-FedNav partnership aims to break this barrier with ice-strengthened vessels and advanced icebreakers. Climate change, while concerning, is creating longer ice-free periods, making year-round navigation more feasible. The joint working group is developing a model that's both commercially viable and environmentally responsible. Year-round shipping would give Canadian exporters consistent, uninterrupted access to global markets. Achieving this will establish Churchill as a dependable fixture in global supply chains. Churchill's revival is a remarkable Canadian success story. After the collapse of its grain business and years of neglect, the port faced closure and decline. In 2018, the Arctic Gateway Group, First Nations and local communities, purchased the port and railway, reclaiming its future. With over $300 million in public investment, the port and railway were transformed from near abandonment to national priority. AGG's leadership and government support fueled upgrades, enabling pioneering shipments of critical minerals. Today, Churchill is a centerpiece of Canadian trade policy and a model for public-private Indigenous partnership. Its journey from closure to rebirth signals Canada's commitment to building a prosperous, independent northern future.